It's time for Hot or Not.
Ooh. That's the hot skillet.
Ooh, okay. It's a new one. All right.
All right. So last time we recorded, Manny mentioned some Latino players that were hot. It was Vlad Guerrero, Fernando Tatis. I think Devers was mentioned. All those players are still hot, but I had to bring up Vladimir Guerrero just because he annihilated the Red Sox in this past series. He's currently the best hitter in baseball. Like, whichever way you look at it, he's the leader in hits, home runs, RBIs, batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS plus, total bases. Since we recorded last time, he's hit 5 home runs. 4 of those home runs came against the Red Sox. He hit one yesterday, even though they lost. Amongst position players, he's first in WAR. I know Manny loves WAR. I mentioned first in on base percentage, slugging. He leads the American League in batting average, but I think in the entire league he's second. And yeah, he also has been intentionally walked 5 times, which is also a league leading stat. I have a question for you, Manny.
Let's hear it, man.
And this doesn't need to go down a rabbit hole of what ifs and all that stuff, but
so say less. Gotcha.
We said Shohei Ohtani, if he ranks top 10 in home runs and top 10 in strikeouts or something like that, he deserves the MVP. But if Vladimir Guerrero, who he's currently not just a triple crown, he's the sextuplet crown or whatever the word is.
Gotcha.
Shouldn't Vlad get the MVP? They both play in the American League. What do you think, man?
I love me some Ohtani, man. Like when he balked those 3 hitters, I think it was in a row, his reaction to it was just, I'm just going to say it was adorable. All right. So I just, God, I love Shohei Ohtani.
I love Ohtani too, man, and I personally think no matter what Vlad does, I have to see what those triple crown numbers look like. Because if let's say he leads the league in home runs with 44, and Shohei Ohtani has 40, and he also struck out 200 batters in the season, I think Ohtani should just get it by default. But if Vlad is a triple crown winner and the home runs are like 59 and some ridiculous stats that would look crazy in any year, then I think I might have to go with Vlad. I'm
trying to get Ohtani's pitching WAR because his hitting, his WAR as a batter is 2.0.
But doesn't that take into so there's a WAR for batting?
Or is if you use Fangraphs, it's different. Actually, there's one. It's in if you look at Baseball References WAR 3.8, that combines everything. So
fielding, hitting, and
so everything. And if you scroll down on Baseball Reference, my computer's slow, to I think it's boop beep boop beep doop beep beep doop boop player value batting, they'll give you hitting WAR. Is it there? No. Yeah, offensive WAR, defensive WAR, and I don't know what the offensive runs above replacement. I forget that. There's offensive WAR and defensive WAR. So. But that's combined. Combined, he has a 3.8. Shohei Ohtani, I just did the Trump hands there. Did you see that? I went like this. Shohei Ohtani. Even that name gives me goosebumps. 3.8 WAR on Baseball Reference. They're tied.
Wow. Well, there you have it, folks.
Fangraphs has them off by a little bit.
But Ohtani's going to end up with a higher WAR if he just remains consistent, because I can't imagine that they're going to assign a stat about how much a player is contributing to a win, and it's not going to go to the guy that pitches and also hits. I would imagine if Ohtani continues down this path, and then Vlad continues down his path of triple crown, I still think Ohtani's going to have a higher WAR at the end of the season.
I think we just got a good instance here of when a team's record should matter. Like if these two guys continue at this path, then I think I have to give it to the guy who helped this team get to the playoffs or has a better record, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make you feel better? Feel better about that?
Yeah, man. I think I'm satisfied and will sleep well tonight knowing that you said those words.
Good. All right. The Nike City Connect uniforms are hot, man. Have you seen these?
I saw a couple. Yep.
Yeah, especially the Miami Marlins one and the Arizona Diamondbacks one. The Diamondbacks one has the word serpientes on the front in cursive, and it's like a snake. It's like a snake's body in cursive. And it's inspired by the Sonoran Desert, which connects Arizona to the United States to Mexico. It looks like the color of sand, almost like the desert. I just think it's really cool, and I think it's a cool name, man. I wouldn't be mad if the Diamondbacks changed their names to Serpientes moving forward. I think that'd be really cool. And then you have the Miami Marlins. They paid homage to the Cuban Sugar Kings. It was a Cuban minor league team, a AAA team, before Fidel Castro. And the owner, Bobby Maduro, wanted to make his team a major league team out of Cuba, which would have been cool. Of course, Fidel took power. Relationships between the U.S. and Cuba deteriorated, and that dream went to shit. But anyway, the uniform is inspired by that team, and I think it's really cool. I really like that uniform. I like the colors too. It's like red, that like cool blue that they use all the time. So I think the Nike City Connect uniforms are dope.
Nice. Can I tell you who's not hot?
Sure.
Guys, I took Shane Bieber with my first pick in fantasy this year.
I should be embarrassed.
And I have to say that he's not hot.
No.
He's pitching well this year. He leads the American League in strikeouts, so that's cool. He's still having a pretty good season. But last year he was the fantasy points king. He outscored every player. I think it was by like 100 points in our league. I'm sure he did something similar in other people's leagues if you include pitching and you're not just an offensive league. You mentioned this, I think, in our first or second recording of this year, Manny, that it could have just been that because of the pandemic and the COVID shortened season, he was limited to facing central teams, NL and AL central teams. And now that things are back to normal, he could be facing better competition. But I have to say he's not hot for this reason. He gave up 5 earned runs against arguably the worst offense in baseball, the Mariners.
The Yankees? Oh, the Mariners.
Could it be that he's facing better competition and he's just off? Of course, this stupid start that he just had, and I call it stupid because he's on my fantasy team, landed him on the 10-day IL, and he'll be shut down from throwing for 2 weeks just to be reevaluated. His ERA, so through 12 starts last year, his ERA was 1.63. His FIP was 2.07. Through 14 starts and about 20 more innings pitched from last year, his ERA is 3.28, and his FIP is almost a full point higher, 3.09. So the strikeouts are still there, but I'm just telling you, I've watched him pitch. He's usually pitching from behind in every game. Current record is 7-4. He only lost 1 game last year. I don't think Shane Bieber is the same pitcher.
I think he
That's
is.
Who's not.
I think he is, man. I think it was a weak division last year. Like, it was regional. It was all central teams. The weakest division in baseball. And now it's opened back up. He's seeing real competition. He's thrown a lot of pitches. He leads the league in strikeouts. Yeah. Leads the league in batters faced. He's having a decent year. I'd take Bieber, man. Don't be so down on the guy.
I just think that he's proving that there's a wide gap between him, DeGrom, even Garrett Cole. You know?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
he needs more time. I think he's still, this is only his fourth big league season. Those guys weren't this good at this stage. And well, DeGrom was, but I don't think Cole was. Scherzer wasn't. I think he's on track to being at those guys' level, but it's not yet. I think last year was too easy for him. I don't think this is a Blake Snell situation. Let me just put it that way.
You're saying I reached? No,
I think you have a legitimate reason to be upset. He is your first overall pick. Like, I mean, I could have told you not to pick him first overall, but I mean, I think I did tell you not to pick him first overall, but whatever. Who am I? You know who else isn't hot? Los Yankees de Nueva York. Yeah. You want to hear a fun fact? Luis Angel Gomez. The New York Yankees have scored less runs than every single team in the American League. They are the 4th worst run scoring team in baseball, ahead of only the Washington Nationals, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the New York Mets, who, by the way, are in first place. They're finding a way to win games. Unlike Los Yankees de Nueva York, who are 33-32, as we record here today on Tuesday. They have a -7 run differential. -7, ladies and gentlemen. Offensively, they're the 21st ranked offensive team according to Fangraphs WAR. They have a .235 team average, ranked 19th in MLB. A .386 slugging percentage, 18th in MLB. And everybody's complaining about the pitching. Oh my God, Taillon sucks. Oh my God, Domingo Germán is starting to suck. They have the 3rd best pitching in baseball, according to WAR. The 4th best starting pitching in general. They have the 4th best FIP in Major League Baseball, tied with the Dodgers. They have the 3rd best WHIP in Major League Baseball. Pitching is not the problem here. This team is, I think I said it early on, like this team just does not look like they know how to play baseball. They make the most outs on bases than any other team in baseball by a lot. They're terrible at running bases. They rely way too much on the home run, and when they hit home runs, there's never anybody on base for some reason. They could only hit solo home runs. They turn way too many double plays. This team just looks flat to me, and a lot of people are blaming Aaron Boone. I don't blame Aaron Boone. I think this is a problem of roster construction. You had a guy in Brett Gardner who was signed last minute. He's your everyday center fielder right now. That's pathetic. I at some point I've defended Brian Cashman a lot. You know, he got Luke Voigt, he got us Gio Urshela, Gleyber Torres. How many? You know, give him credit for all that stuff. But this year is inexcusable. Like, this can't continue to happen. And for guys like Giancarlo Stanton, it seems like he's playing one day and off the next day. It's not. It's not his fault. But fuck, man, if he's gonna get hurt, just play him, man. Like, what are we doing?
No, but that's what I'm wondering. I noticed Yankees didn't play last night, Monday night. They were off Friday, and they were off Monday.
Yeah.
So those were days they didn't have a game.
Right.
And I know Giancarlo Stanton sat out either Sunday or Saturday. So what's the point of, like, wouldn't that count as a day off? Like, wouldn't you schedule that around it? If they're still doing like, oh, let's schedule a day off 3 weeks down the road, that's just ridiculous. And if Aaron Boone has any say in that, then I do have to put some of the blame on him. But let me read you an
I think before you say that, I think what Aaron Boone needs to do now, because he's on the hot seat, I think it's official. Like, he's going to be the scapegoat. If this team doesn't make the postseason, or if they continue to play like this, he's going to get fired. I think this is the last year of his contract, or maybe they'll just let it write it out. He won't come back or whatever. What he needs to do at this point is say, excuse my language, fuck it. Like, send me all your orders. Tell me what lineup you want. If I don't like it, I'm ripping it up and I'm doing my own thing. I'm sending runners. I'm not going to give these guys rest days. Just play like your freaking job depends on it, or manage like your job depends on it right now. The angriest I've seen him was recently. I think Brian Hawk asked him if this team is getting used to winning, and he was like, get out of here with that question. Like that, like you can tell he's starting to get pissed off. Take it into the field and you know, manage that way now. I don't blame you. I get it. You're getting orders from up on top. You're executing the orders. You're the player friendly manager. But now you have to start playing like your job depends on it. You have to start managing these games like it's the 7th game of the World Series, unfortunately.
So I read an interesting tweet related to this. The Arizona Diamondbacks are 20-47, the worst record in baseball. They've lost 20 straight games on the road. They've scored 18 more runs. Actually, 28 more runs than the Yankees have this season.
And you know what? What we started the show with, them enforcing the sticky balls and stuff, because unfortunately these Yankee hitters are also a swinger. The only hitter that I'm truly disappointed in is DJ LeMahieu, because I thought that he could get, that he could hit anything essentially, and maybe he's just having a bad start to the year. But if baseball is really going to start enforcing the sticky substance thing, I have to expect this offense to do much better. But then in turn, hitters are going to come in and they're going to do better against our pitchers. We have to start scoring more runs. I think the problem with this team is offense. It's not pitching. I think Taillon hasn't been good. I agree, but give him more time. He's coming off of 2 Tommy John surgeries. Domingo Germán has been good for us. I just said us. Please don't take anything from that. Garrett Cole's Garrett Cole. I think he's going to be fine. We have to address the hitting, and maybe you go after Ketel Marte. Maybe you go after Starling Marte. Maybe you go after. I heard Joey Gallo. I'm not about that move, but whatever. Something has to happen here.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the Tampa Bay Rays, I would say the Yankees aren't entirely out of it, because Red Sox and Blue Jays have looked normal at times, beat each other. But the Tampa Bay Rays are just running away with it, almost like
they just lost Glass now.
What was the actual lost him to, like, the IL?
It's like an elbow. He felt like a tinge in his elbow, he said. So I have to suspect that they're going to shut him down.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
So shut your mouth, all right?
I will.
Sorry. All right. Get out the store, man. We're going to close up now. Peace.
Peace.